crisis intervention team member with that training. He has been a SWAT operator and numerous other advanced law enforcement training courses. Sergeant Riddle has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Liberty University and is currently pursuing a master's degree through Liberty University in criminal justice law enforcement leadership. We're very glad to have Sergeant Riddle as a member of our team, and would especially like to welcome his wife Brandy and their 4 children, Mason, Turner, Jackson, and Mackenzie. And we're also fortunate to have Sergeant Riddle's parents here, Bonnie and Steve Riddle. So welcome to all of you. And I think our town attorney will be doing the oath of office. If you want to come forward with Misty.
Is there somebody that would like to hold the Bible?
And if the children want to come up, you're welcome to come up, or any family members, you're welcome to stand with him. I leave that to you guys. You're more than welcome.
So you're going to hold it up there. He's going to place his left hand on and raise his right. Everybody up. Okay. And the full name is?
Matthew Card Riddle.
Matthew
Card
Riddle. Okay, I want to make sure I have it correct. So if you'll repeat after me. I, Matthew Card Riddle,
I, Matthew Card Riddle,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith.
and that you will faithfully perform the duties
I will faithfully perform the duties
of police sergeant,
of police sergeant,
so help you God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We always want the wives to do this part.
This is why.
Don't go no blood.
Yes.
Y'all want to get a picture with your family?
And then
Sure.
I'll get you to sign afterwards.
Come on.
Bring them on back up here.
You gotta take pictures.
Gosh.
Chief? Cash, do you want to join?
Come on, Claude.
You heard that?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, job.
Thank you.
Sergeant, if you would be signing, you will sign right here and right here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sergeant, welcome to town.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
And the Wooten Company, we have Miles Galloway.
Yes. Yeah, we have Mr. Miles Galloway is here with us this evening, and he's going to explain to you our AIA study that we've got going on, and any questions that you have for them, please be sure to ask them.
All right. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Miles Galloway with the Wooten Company. We are, I guess, what we've been asked here for is regarding to the asset inventory and assessment grants the town was successfully received back in the previous funding round from the North Carolina Division of Water Infrastructure. They are both grant funded. I will start with the water. It includes mapping of the water system, including using that information to perform or to complete and compile a water model to assist in future growth or any new interest in commercial or industrial developments coming in, or even residential areas coming in. It will look at that. It would be an asset and tool for the town. Additionally, there will be a water treatment plant evaluation as part of this study. That will go through all the major process components at the facility, looking from everything from the intake all the way out to its final pumping section. Ultimately, what this is going to generate is an asset management plan and a capital improvements plan. We're looking at a 20-year outlook, but we're really going to want to focus on that first 5 years. And then from there, what's the next most important thing, 5 to 10 years from now, 10 to 15, and so forth and so on. There is some grant administration that we would also be assisting with as part of this project to get that grant administered and the town reimbursed for the funding. What's really critical about these AIAs, the Asset Inventory Assessment Grants, is it does assist the town with further funding, construction dollars. So trying to establish what is needed, document it, establish it as part of this plan, really focuses and hones in from the state funding agencies. Yes, we've identified this as being critical. We've done this legwork up to this point, and now we're ready to go into some construction dollars. And that's typically very successful for municipalities that have this type of funding. Likewise, there is also the Wastewater Asset Inventory and Assessment Grant. This is going to include a lot of manhole mapping this system out. We'll go manhole to manhole, including manhole inspections. We'll look and see, do we have manholes in the system that might need a little more attention versus some other ones that may be newer. And again, this is all going into an asset evaluation. Smoke testing will be another component of the study, which is putting a smoke machine on top of a manhole, and we'll blow some liquid smoke through it, see if there's any cracks, leaks, cross connections with stormwater systems. Where are we getting inflow and infiltration from groundwater or rainwater into the system? As part of the contract, we're also looking at cleaning and TVing about 5% of the wastewater system, or just over 5% of the collection system. Rather, this is also in code with the annual inspection that the town is required to do. Lift station evaluations. We'll do drawdown testing, make sure that these pumps are running accordingly as per their capacity and rated capacities. And likewise with the water side, doing a wastewater treatment plant evaluation, looking at major assets, what's critical, what needs to be replaced, is there redundancy that needs to be addressed, things of that nature. And additionally, there would be a sewer rate study to go along with this to help guide this board with any potential future rate increases to help address some of the issues that might be identified. Just like the water side of things, an asset management plan will be generated along with a capital improvements plan. Again, looking initially at that first 5 years, but we'll also have that 20-year outlook to assist the town with future planning purposes. And again, there is grant administration for both of those projects. So I think that you both, or everyone out here, has a copy of the scope of work that we're proposing. And I believe it's been mentioned before at previous councils, or at least one previous council, what the grant intent was for. But again, I'm here to answer any questions for both these projects.
It's 100% grant.
It is 100% grant. There is a closing fee that the town will have to cover as part of this. However, there is a in-kind services that can be provided, so your town staff, keep up with hours. If they're assisting with the work, can be paid off in kind.
And it's 24 months start to finish. Is that what I'm reading?
Essentially, yeah.
Basically, okay.
Yeah, but we hopefully can address this a lot sooner. I know the water treatment plant's having a few issues with their filtration. And in fact, I was speaking with Mr. Jason over here. We might be able to expedite some of this stuff to get it out in front of some certain funding cycles, to at least get something in front of the reviewers for that particular type of funding. So the schedules are in the scope, but we might be able to move some things around given the needs of the town.
Anybody have other questions?
So we have to approve it.
Yeah, we need and we need one for both.
One for, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a motion for task order number 1, which would be the water AIA?
I make a motion for the task order number 1, AIA.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we move on to task order number 2, which is the wastewater AIA grant. Motion,
I'll make a motion for task order number 2 to be approved.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both of those passed.
Thank you so much. We do look forward to working with town Wooten. Thank you.
Infrastructure update, Summey Engineering.
I do not see anybody here from Summey. I did not hear, I just checked my email to see if I had an email or anything from them, so, there's no report to come from them. I did meet with them last Wednesday and review everything and asked them to provide updates and options for each of the projects they're working on, so I'm not sure what they're here.
So we'll move on to the presentation from Flock Safety, license plate reader, LPR cameras, Daniel Callahan and Jonathan Paz via Zoom.
Chief, do you want to speak on this while I get them connected?
I suppose one of the companies that's used, I think it started with HOAs. The gentleman that started the company had a need in his neighborhood for cameras, so that's sort of how this company started. But we've been searching for some type of camera system for the town. You know, the way we're situated, we could place cameras in strategic locations that would help us solve crimes when we have those take place. And Flock Safety is one company that we've talked to, and they want to do a presentation tonight, and we'll do so, about how their system works, the various cameras that they have. And they have sent me a sample policy that we would use. You know, normally those policies would come into play, and you may even have a copy of one, I'm not sure. I will tell you that my goal was today to try to get one done for the town of Denton, and the painter showed up today, and our office is completely dismantled, no copiers, and we spent a big part of the day moving things around. But I think this would be a valuable asset. We may not be able to do all the cameras that were proposed due to the cost, but hopefully we'll be able to do something with this company or another similar company that would help us monitor folks that commit crimes and be able to apprehend them and put them in the criminal justice system where they belong if they commit crimes in the town of Denton. And I think Daniel and Jonathan are with us tonight, and Angel and I have spent a lot of time in Zoom meetings with them. Very smart, capable people, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to what they have to say.
Good evening. Could folks hear me?
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Jonathan Paz, and I'm part of the local government affairs team here at Flock. My colleague here, Daniel, is also here to help support and help answer any questions. We had a quick presentation for you all, and hoping to help answer some questions by the end of this presentation. So again, my name is Jonathan Paz. We're here with Flock. We were founded back in 2017. Our mission is to help shape a safer future together. We were founded actually back in 2017 when our CEO was the victim of property crime himself. There was a series of car break-ins in his neighborhood, and at the time he had a doorbell camera, and he thought maybe this is enough to help solve this crime. So he presented some footage to his local police department, and they said, this is not enough, we need a license plate. So he did a little bit of research and found out that license plate reading technology has been around for over 30 years. It's just very expensive. So he developed what has now become a best-in-class prototype, actually at first using an iPhone, and now it's a license plate reading camera, and it doesn't break the bank. So we are now in over 5,000 communities across the country, helping solve over 12% of crime, providing objective evidence for law enforcement agencies to be able to get their clearance rates up and solve crime at a higher and more expeditious way, and really helping answer that paradox, that question, right, where police departments are expected to do more with less. So we see this technology to be a force multiplier, not meant to replace the investigative process, but actually enhance it and make it more efficient. And it really is an opportunity to collect and distribute objective evidence to the right user. So, we have a whole platform of solutions. They all work very similarly. They detect, and they decode, and they deliver. So they detect evidence using machine learning technology. They decode, right, finding the needle in the haystack, and they deliver it in real time to your phone, your pad, or your laptop. This is what we're talking about. It's called the Falcon camera, and this is the way it works. So let's say you're driving by one of these cameras. It takes a snapshot of the back of your car and really takes stock of two things. Number one, right, the license plate. And number two, what really sets us apart is the vehicular fingerprint. Now it takes stock of the color, the make of the car, if it's like a bike rack in the back, and really that helps inform if you're at an investigation and someone reports like, hey, this was a silver Hyundai. They're not going to memorize the license plate, but that description alone can help them in a time to be able to investigate something. So these cameras are actually connected to the FBI's database called National Crime Information Center, where it actually enables you to know if someone with a felony warrant is coming to your jurisdiction, if there's stolen vehicles coming in, or if there's missing people coming into your area. And this infrastructure is, these cameras are infrastructure free, so they're solar powered. You don't have to put wires down, providing this 24/7 coverage while Flock is on the back end helping you maintain it, keeping it updated and the software up to sync. This is what it looks like to have a real-time alert, right? So let's pretend someone's on their laptop. They would get an alert for someone who is associated with a catalytic converter theft. This is what it's like to search through the system itself. You have these key indicators of a car, let's say the vehicle make, the body type, these are meant to be objective criteria that they can search through. Now I wanted to just take a little bit of time to explain what this is not. This technology is not facial recognition. We're not collecting biometric or personal information of people. It's not going to be used for tracking speed or parking violations. We specialize in the work of gathering objective evidence of cars and not people. And then per policy, the data is deleted after 30 days. So let's say a few cars pass by one of these cameras and they're not associated with any criminal investigation. That data is hard deleted after 30 days. The only thing that remains, right, is, let's say some kind of data pertinent to some investigation. That can get stored in a typical investigative file, and you need a search reason for that. So again, as I mentioned, this tool is proactive. You're getting real-time alerts, right? If there's people coming into your area, it's investigative, so you have real data to work with, and it's a deterrent because you'll be part of the Flock network. I don't know if I cut out there for a sec, but I'm just going to keep my video off for a sec just in case my internet gets weird. I'll be back on camera. Apologies for that. But we do have some accountability mechanisms built in, right? You can't just go into the system and search. You have to have a real reason and a case number associated with the search. We really do believe in having that accountability on the back end. This data is end-to-end encrypted. It's stored in an AWS cloud. So we help manage that, making sure it's secured at the highest level possible. And it is not connected to some third-party database. So if the DMV is getting hacked, we're not getting hacked. This is its own sustaining system. Again, our goal is to make sure we're taking the human bias out of crime solving by detecting only objective data. And then we believe in transparency. So we think, we provide this as a free service. We can provide a transparency portal so folks know in your community that this is a tool in the toolbox. You can share what this is being used for, what it's not being used for, if you're connected or partnering with any other agencies, who's connected. And then you can include your LPR policy there at the bottom, making sure that folks really know. And you can also publicize your return on investment. Some agencies showcase, this is how many stolen vehicles we've been able to retrieve thanks to Flock. So again, it's a subscription service where you'd be working with us, partnering. It's like a per camera per year kind of service where we help on the back end maintain them. When it comes to software, and we're already helping solve crime in over 130 law enforcement agencies in beautiful state of North Carolina. And we have some case studies here. I will share some of them are sensitive in nature, but we felt it's compelling and important. So we had a case out of Alexander County where on March 18th, 2024, deputies responded to reports of a break-in and burglary at a local hardware store. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage and obtained a description of the suspect's vehicle, which they entered into their flock safety system. They identified the vehicle and told neighboring agencies to be on the lookout. So a short time later, Catawba County, sorry about that, deputies located the vehicle and arrested the suspect. So a search of the vehicle yielded stolen property and methamphetamine. Again, how the power of the system and how a description can go a long way, this time retrieving some illegal substances. We have a case study from Gardner PD when they've installed Flock since 2022. They had 256 investigations utilizing this technology. They were able to retrieve 144 stolen vehicles, and they were able to rescue 40 missing people. Again, Flock safety being a part of this, not replacing the investigative process, but enhancing it. And then lastly, just wanted to share really quickly out of Roanoke Rapids, where officers received an alert from their local LPR that a vehicle stolen out of Northampton County had been detected nearby. The officers initiated a traffic stop, detained 3 occupants and searched the vehicle, and that yielded a firearm and drug paraphernalia. The driver was arrested and faces multiple charges. Just to quote the police chief, the flock camera system has been a huge asset to the Roanoke Rapids Police Department. The cameras have given us the ability to recover more stolen vehicles, plates, arrest warrant subjects, along with the recovery of drugs and guns. And I promise to be quick. I just always end really quickly on our first Amber Alert that we were able to solve. This was back in 2020 when a mom was walking her baby down the street when 2 strangers, little, jumped out of their car and took her baby out of her arms. She called 911 and an Amber Alert was issued at 12:30 p.m. At the time, she provided enough of a description, red Honda with a damaged back wheel, and that search that led to an actual a search, and then they were able to locate a suspect. At the time in Georgia, we have such a strong network. We were founded out of Georgia. They were able to trace and track this suspect, and they knew they were heading out of state. So they were able to plan for a safe stop, and they made that stop safely. And by 6 o'clock, the baby was reunited with their mom. I share this story not only because we've helped, now recover over 400 missing people across the country. That's probably an underestimation, but it also goes to show, the importance of being part of this network, where you really will have, a strong system to work off of. Because crime is regional; it doesn't respect boundaries. It's a regional matter. So you'd be in good hands working with our community here with Flock. So happy to answer any questions. Again, sorry for the Wi-Fi issues on my end.
You guys have any questions on the system itself?
I assume we could build on the system. I know you have it priced out as 10, or what the bid we had in front of us is 10, but we could start with less and then build. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, we were getting cut out right there. Do you mind repeating that?
I said, I assume you can build on the system. You got it set up as 10 cameras, but we want to start with less and then add 2. That's a possibility?
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't have to start with the quote that I assume that you have in front of you right now. Angel, Chief, and I kind of built out a bigger solution. So we can whittle it down from there as needed for your budget and the needs of your town.
And then we just add 2 along year to year if we want to.
Correct. It is subscription based. I believe the quote that we sent out there for you all is a 2-year standard contract, but we can change that as needed depending on what you all are looking for.
So this is it's only a lease, right? We don't purchase anything? Since you said it's
correct.
Okay.
So you all don't. The town itself doesn't actually own those cameras. So with that, we handle all the maintenance, like Jonathan mentioned. and we handle a whole lot of other things in terms of like helping with the permitting side of things, readjustments, things like that. And we'll even go in and put those poles in the ground. And once the subscription is over, or you all don't want to renew later down the line, we'll come pack up all the cameras, pack up all the poles, and you don't have to deal with any of that.
How many you gonna start off with? I mean,
Bid for 10.
okay, I saw that, so.
Whenever Chief James and I were looking at the system and also with Captain Clodfelter, we were just trying to make sure that if we were looking at it, this could be a potential for future growth, is having all intersections that come in or leave town. So if you look at the map that's on the back portion, it does indicate locations that captures traffic coming in and leaving town.
To kind of piggyback what Angel said right there, we try to build like a virtual gate, and that's what we've kind of built out for you all today.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going at, just the price sort of got me a little bit.
Where are these actually mounted? Where are the cameras mounted?
Where? So we'll figure that out. We've kind of built out a plan. Angel, has the council been able to see where we've already built out like a rough draft of where those cameras would be?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask my question correctly. What I wanted to know is, at what height are they put? Physically, are they put 15 feet in the air? Are they, where are they?
About that,
Right.
like that.
Yeah, great question. So it just depends on where we want to place these cameras. So they could be on existing infrastructure if permitting allows. And I believe we had your public works director in that initial meeting kind of talking through a couple of those locations as well. And then if we can't place on existing infrastructure, we'll bring our own poles into town, or we'll place our own poles in the town as needed, as long as it works with you all and also with permitting and DOT roadways and things like that.
I noticed some of your cities and towns that you operate in now, were there any smaller towns similar to ours?
Sorry, was the question, are we in smaller towns?
Yeah, I noticed Wake Forest and some of the others, maybe Galloway.
Yeah, so it looks like Jonathan's going to share a little something here. Jonathan, you want to take that away?
Yeah, I mean, we have quite a variety of population sizes in North Carolina, comparable to yours, but we just wanted to showcase a few here. And I do think you have a few neighbors that do have these cameras.
And if you'd like, I can go ahead and share my screen real quickly. Give me 1 moment to pull it up. I can show you at least a good idea of how many cameras we actually have out in North Carolina right now. I mean, we are nationwide. We're in 49 different towns 49 different states in the U.S., and then we're also in over 5,000 agencies. If I can find the exact map, I will show it. If not, what I can do is possibly send something over to Chief here. Yeah, I can send a follow up on that. I'm sorry about that. I didn't have it pulled up right away.
Oh, that's fine.
But I think Jonathan may be able to list a couple right now. If you have it. Do you have that available, Jonathan?
Not in the area, but we can pull that up in a few.
I should have told our commissioners, and I didn't. The sheriff for this county has asked for 25. I don't know what the commissioners will approve. The chief of Thomasville PD intends to put in his budget next year flock safety cameras, and I think Lexington PD may have them. So the good thing about that is the sharing ability, where if we had a crime here or vice versa, we can share the data from these cameras. And I should have mentioned that earlier, and I apologize for that.
The same system, Chief?
Yes, it's a flock safety.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, that's what the benefit is. You'll be able to share all the cameras that are in the state and then nationwide. So if Chief puts something on his hot list, or there's an issue that happened in Carthage, and sometimes you're catching the suspect all the way up in Richmond, Virginia, or something like that. But just in your area alone, I know Chief's just mentioned a couple that are in planning. But Southern Pines PD currently has active cameras. All Lowe's nationwide have cameras because there's also community access as well. But you can go all the way to Harnett County. Sheriff's Office has it. There's cameras in Sanford. And then as you kind of go out towards like Fayetteville, Rockingham, Wadesboro, we have cameras there as well.
Do you guys have any other questions for Jonathan or Daniel? Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you being on Zoom and showing your system to everyone, and we'll be in contact soon.
Absolutely. Do you all want us to stay on, or should we sign off?
I think we're good. So thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Absolutely. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording.
Is this something that can be married with other cameras that we have in town that are working at this time?
No, they don't. These are strictly just for the purpose of traffic. If I'm saying that incorrectly, you can correct me, but it is just simply for traffic recording of the house.
So it's a curiosity, where do we currently have cameras? that are
So
working?
it's Harrison Park, Farmers Market, Town Hall, and that's all it's on. Well, PD has their own system. Sewer plant has their own, and the water plant. We are talking to a company that for upgrades on our town cameras for buildings, and that could interlink those to have them more accessible to everyone, so to the town staff.
So everything that we do have now functions?
No, they are not currently, the server is not recording it correctly, but that's why we're looking at having some things updated.
How long have they been down? All of them?
Yes, they are down. And we have reached out to, the company that we used to use is no longer serving those cameras, so we've had to try to get quotes from other people. So,
And they've been down a month, 2 months,
quite a while.
with no cameras? Nowhere?
Well, yes.
Any other questions about these? Okay, next we have consideration of the joint project with Handy Sanitary District for MBD Consulting Engineers to conduct a feasibility study for the construction of a reservoir impoundment at the Town of Denton water treatment plant.
I brought this to you guys last month for consideration, and that is to have a study for adding the lagoons at the water plant, which would give us several days supply of water on hand in case there was something happen at our intake. In meeting with Handy's board, quarterly meeting for the representatives that were present, they have already approved moving forward with this, and it is for your consideration tonight. I did reach out to Wooten Engineering as staff and board members had recommended for us to do, but Wooten didn't feel that they could reach that 150-day window that is asking to have this so that we can present it to the state for possible funding. And they did mention that they would be glad to review any findings that come before you before it's submitted on our behalf to the state. So it is a recommendation from them to go forward with this study, just knowing that they would look at it for review for best interest of the town.
Questions?
I think as long as Wooten, does lay eyes on it to make sure that it is in our best interest, I think that we need a motion.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion that we join with Handy Sanitary to do this project under the understanding that Wooten will have opportunity to review it.
And I'll second that. Any other? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that motion carries. Okay, discussion of proposed renovation project, Old Denton Jail Building, and that's Commissioner Hogan.
I had, Randy Harster and Steve Smith, like that on his card, but it's Steve Smith. Go look, because they're, Steve is, a brick mason, and, Randy Bills, to look at the proposed cost of the old jail. They went and looked at the front part, which is one part in one of these photos will show it's leaning, and Steve had a plan for that, what it would take to fix this part that you see right here, bringing it down, taking that out, and then, is it what's that word?
Margin.
Yeah, and doing that on the part of the bricks that's crumbling. And to go back and put the new brick and do that part and fix the holes. Also, he looked at it and said it would cost at least $500 in the brick. He called down to Wilson Carter Supply to find out about the mortar. And Randy Hardister, he gave the price of the windows, because they all need fixing. The frame of the wooden frames is deteriorated. It was built around 1940. Inside, though, it looked good. There's pictures of it inside. There's the cost of the sand. The door frame and the door's a question, because the door's really good. I feel like after the door frame's fixed, the door would serve its purpose. And also, as he walked around, he was surprised it looked as good as it did in some places, but on the other side, that's facing, I think, where it got more weather, it was where he saw that it would need the most work. If I got that side here, that might be on where it's crumbling, doing that part. So this is their proposed budget. What got me really interested, which I've always wanted to fix, it was when we did the ghost walk, how many people said, why don't you save that jail?
You hear that a lot.
Yeah, and they loved it. That was the hot spot of the whole history tour. So this is what the cost would. They said it might not even be that much, but this was the budget, the minimum he's got here, and then he's got that part that could be the most.
65, not to exceed 9,000.
Right. It's got the roof is concrete, and the bottom is concrete too.
So like that, like right there, where they were, I guess they'd have to
That's
place
Knock it down
that,
and
that's
yeah,
go
where,
back with it, yeah, that's
where
where,
that's the worst.
like that's where he's talking about using it.
Yeah, that was the worst, and then
And
that
that.
one side, yeah.
That.
It's the only thing we've got left that we can save, because there's not anything else we own. And, I sent y'all an email, I don't know if you've got it in time, to see where Stars saved their jail. And it's newer, I sent it right after school, but it's a little bit newer than Denton's, because ours is the oldest. That's our second jail we ever had. The first one's by the real close to where Beefy's is, and that's in the old pictures of Denton over there of the cross ties. It was over to the right. The second one in our history is where it's at now.
Is there like a grand scheme of what's gonna happen with it beyond restoring it, or is it just gonna be restored and
It's gonna be on the tour site, and also we thought it'd be nice. I wanted to, after it got fixed, to maybe have some sort of decor on the side of it being the jail, little picture on the side.
I think it used to have a sign, but I can't remember. I'm not quite that old, but.
I just remember people staying there when I was growing up.
is there something in particular you're pointing at?
Yeah, that's where I was talking about. I was telling Randy Hardister, it looked like that could have been on the stove.
Oh,
or
Well,
something
there is a-
come out from there. I'm not sure how they heated in the 40s. It could have been just a
I think there was a
normal
little wood heater or laundry stove in there, and there's 2 cells, and aren't the 2 commodes, part of them still in there? The backs of them, maybe, or maybe
stove.
one.
Yeah, I think the backs of them. And it used to have the old metal bunks that you pulled down. There was like 4 bunk beds in there. Used to be in there back in the day. They just pulled down from the wall.
Yeah, Otis stayed in one, didn't
Maybe.
So what did Steve think it was?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, they thought it looked
definitely-
pretty good compared to what they thought, you know, as they got to walking around and poking things. But Randy said he could fix the windows and the door frames. Fixing these holes right here, and here's some of these right here that they was gonna have to take care of them. Fix that door at the bottom of the front door on the left. Cause like I said, it was built in 1940, so it's got some age on it.
Yeah, we fire department trained in it a lot for a smoke room one time. Didn't we, Rafer?
I remember when the light used to be on.
When somebody was there.
Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I missed. What did you say they're gonna do to the brick that's crumbling?
Take that down, what are you talking?
Forge it.
Hardening it.
Forge it, yeah.
It's P-A-R-G-I-N-G.
And what does that? Somebody, I don't
It
know
means
what that
putting
is.
a thin layer of concrete over it in order to stabilize it. And it's just a way to,
To save it.
yes.
And then he said after all that was done, it could be, you know, cleaned up to paint.
So does he think, and I'm sure they do, what does he think about the pressure washing of it? Would that deteriorate any more? I mean, you would do
Well, I
that
think after all that's done,
after
right,
that's
yeah.
done, yeah.
Or they even mentioned, Randy and Steve both said that they thought after it was all fixed, just look like, you know, but it's whatever board was on as far as you want it painted or not. I mean, it gives it that authentic look. So that is what I bring before y'all.
Well, like you
We
said,
fixed
it's all,
that
It's the
Ocean.
only thing
it's all
left.
that town's got left that we do want.
And I hear lots of people say, I wish y'all would do something to that jail. I have heard that a lot of times.
Well, I make a motion to, go with this on the old Denton jail.
Not to exceed 9,000.
Yep, not to exceed 9,000 with, Randy Harster and Steve Smith.
Second.
A motion and a second, so all in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed?
Thank y'all, we'll have it shining down there, and we're gonna get, we need some, tours down there, you need to come to one down there.
I came last summer.
I don't think we went to the jail, did we?
We walked by it.
Okay, so the proclamation supporting Operation Greenlight for active military.
Last year, Davidson County participated in the green light for active military services, and they were asked us if we would just participate in placing green lights around town in any place that we could. This year, we second them in the proclamation of supporting Operation Green Light for active military service members in transit to civilian life. And Mayor Pro Tem, do you want me to read the proclamation or to read it in full?
I'm good with it.
And we're good. I think we're good.
It is
Yeah.
in support of the military,
Yeah.
all of our veterans, and it'll go in nicely with our Veterans Day celebration weekend when we have all of our flags and stuff in place as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea, that's what I'd give for door prizes, these little green bullets.
Oh, yeah.
So are there certain green lights that are used?
Just green bulbs in general. We bought disc lights last year just personally, that we put in our windows here at Town Hall, so it just cast a green light. And I ordered some for Town Hall off Amazon. I couldn't find them like local, but if there's anybody who does have them, we can promote that out. If there's
Are they like,
They're just regular LED screw
Okay.
in. Mhm.
this is new?
Yeah.
Any other questions of that proclamation?
I move we approve, Mayor Pro Tem.
I second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
All right. Resolution 24.25-06, designation of an official to make recommendations to the North Carolina Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission on ABC permit applications.
You want to speak on this? Okay, I'm gonna let Chief James address this. It's coming to you so that he can actually sign off on the local opinion for the ABC board.
I didn't realize this had not been done prior to me coming, and apparently it took a long time for the people in Raleigh to realize it. But I got a call from the chief deputy that they had kicked probably the one I just did for the new Dollar General Market. And the way the law is written, the elected officials have to approve us to render that local opinion. So if you approve this, it allows me to do it, which is, in my view, better for our citizens. The young lady, the manager from Dollar General Market, just had to come to the police department. I did a check on her to make sure she was okay. Of course, the location's okay. So it would help our citizens, our business owners, and I think us as a town, if I were allowed to do it versus the sheriff's office having to do it. But to make it legal, you have to bless that in a sense, and have a motion, and that resolution be completed. I'll send it to Miss Chandra and Raleigh, and once she gets that, then me and Chiefs down the road will be able to do it.
I would make a motion that we designate Chief James to be the designated official to sign this for the ABC board.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 13A, AMI meter review.
So we had 3 presentations on the AMI meter systems, one being Portaline, one was Miller Supply, and then Waterworks Mineralogy. And it went back to them and asked for updates on their quotes. Based off of the 1,067, there was still a little bit of discrepancy there, but it came close. We also asked that Miller quote the ultrasonic as the other 2 companies had provided to us. The company that is doing provided a quote for the installation for the Miller product is also the same company that does Portaline's installations. They had a conversation with him last Thursday, and just talked to him in depth about the lead line study that they were talking about possibly having while we're installing the meters. He has done this all over the state, and it is a program that they established for us to be able to carry forward and have it a working file for documenting what is in the ground now and then changes that come forward. And he said that if they are chosen to be the installer for the program, that he would like to develop a relationship with the town so that he could work that lead line program for us the way that it needs to be during the installation process. Is there any questions you guys have about the 3 different systems, clarifications that we still need?
On 4-line, did you study this, the budget, the bid?
I don't have it in front of me, so I'm gonna say
You need to have
I have reviewed it, but I don't have it in front of me.
All right, is it, Michael, did you look at it?
Do what?
You look at the bid?
No. I hadn't seen the bid since they offered it, because we told that one seller installation needed to be included, drilling the meter leads needed to be included. I don't know if they've seen all of it together yet.
Well, that's what I'm asking. It looks like installation's included. Do you know, Angel?
On Ford lines, they
Yeah.
did include theirs,
Okay.
yeah.
And it's including the master meters also?
From what the quote looks to be, if you look at that, he has different sizes on there. So you could move forward with having those installed, or you could back those out of the quote if you just wanted to move forward
You don't
with
really have them, we
residential.
don't get any rest of them.
Okay. So, but Borderline did include those larger size meters, which would
Okay,
be,
so the Borderline has everything that we wanted.
they have turnkey.
So it looks like they've got, 8 1-inch maybe, 5 2-inch, 4 4-inch, 4 6-inch.
We went over, we showed them the vaults for like the hose reels and the,
Yeah.
you know, the sewer plant meters, you know, all the bigger meters.
And the yearly's 12,336,
Yes.
39. And then it shows an installation all correct?
Right, Borderline did have the installation already included with that.
The only thing they did not include in this was the pole installation, it was 15,000, is that correct?
Correct, and that was if they needed to install the pole at the water plant for that, connector there.
And I did call Iredell County today. They've got 11,000 of these meters.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
Any problems they had?
No, not, he said a little glitches in the software
Mm-hmm.
and maybe about 10 or 12 meters is all they had trouble with. He said they showed a 10 to 14% increase in water. I don't know where he told me they had any large user like Candy does or not. But he said it picks up very low flow. And he said, you know, we can come up and look at it, but all I can show us really with the screen.
Since I was not at the meeting with the other two, I did watch it online and tried to take notes, and I used the information that you had provided. And I felt like the Zinner Miller, I just felt like theirs just seemed very open in terms of we never really got a final price. It just was kind of like it didn't feel complete to me. And the Waterworks Metrology, their annual fees were over double or almost double what Fort Alliance was. And with us having more experience with Fort Alliance, I just feel like that's the best way for us to go. And I know that we had talked about at the Fort Alliance meeting that we didn't have to do all AMI meters, that they didn't all have to have leak detection. Is that right? Is that what I'm remembering?
Yes. You could take a section, if you knew an area of town that was prone to leaks, you could install them in that area of town in order to do that.
And so that would help us save a little bit of money.
Yeah, I think you said you could take a cluster of the leak detector meters, put them in one area for 6 months, then move it to another area, install new meters where you can put them out of, and just use that cluster of meters all the way around town. Of course, we'd have to, you know, do the changing of it
Right.
probably. You could move a cluster of meters and find your leaks.
But there are no moving parts, so it should not be a
Shouldn't be a
big
problem.
deal to move.
Just be a computer change, you know, for a number per meter.
And that also, it read more times a day than anything else. It read 8 times a day. And it also, the leak detection was a lot more precise than any of the others as well. So I feel like Fort Line is head and shoulders above the others.
Michael, don't Handy have some of these?
They went with the meter, the second guy. And then for their master meters and their sewer meters and all that, they went with the Fort Line.
That's what I thought.
When we met with quarterly, that Daryl said that, you know, and the outside accounts that they have that are at the lake, it wouldn't benefit for them to have this type of program because it's too far to get the connections. But that they have considered the closer into town, closer to their office, they have started replacing them with the cellular connector, so that in the future, if they wanted to do like a portion of their system, they could do that. So they're working towards an interchangeable system.
And can we use the state money, budgeted money, not the other?
Yes, I have a meeting set up this week with the agent to talk about that after if that's what we're gonna do, is approve that. So that way we know how to move forward with taking care of that using the state money. So, I did ask Wooten, to check on grants for meters. And he said that there's not anything out there right now for meter systems. There are times that does come around, and that is a particular grant that is being promoted out, but right now there's not anything out available.
What did he say, 3-month term?
I think so. I think he
I don't think
said
it's that long.
Ford Line was, because they have them in stock.
Yes.
So Ford Line was a lot quicker turnaround. It was 3 months versus 6 months to the others.
Okay. I make a motion that we go with Waterline meters at a bid of $558,537.83, not counting sales tax.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Is what, as long as we pay for it with state money.
Okay.
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 And I'll give you an update as soon as I have that meeting with them.
All right, we're ready. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Yes. Finally, right?
That was louder than the jail vote.
Okay. Department head reports. Paula, you wanna go?
Yes, I have supplied you with the, number of customers that have been billed for November and the gallons, that we have billed. Also a handy sanitary district October usage. So you have that on the report that I provided.
All money wise, what does that translate, round figures?
For handy,
Or total, either way, yeah, it's for handy.
for handy, I think it was 50, a little over 50.
So it runs pretty close, 50 every year, every week, every month.
It varies some, but close to that.
And I'll go Public Works. Michael.
We just been doing our usual stuff. We got 3 more water leaks still to fix. I've got a couple employees out for some family reasons. We put in a few new services, water and sewer, for some new construction. We replaced that drain. I forgot to put that on the list. We replaced that drain tile over here, behind the police department, which kept caving in. We dug it up, relayed it. And a lot of our usual work, been looking at the water plant. But, one thing, Barbara, with this, all this jail work she's putting in, can we find everybody that's still alive that's been arrested and put in that jail and take a picture of them? And find out what they got arrested
I'm
for?
not sure there's any left.
I think there's some, but I don't know if we should say.
That one you said no.
Oh,
Well, I found the book. When I cleaned town hall out, that jail's login book. And it lists in that book who was incarcerated and what they was incarcerated for.
where did the
And
book?
it's at the police
Yeah,
department.
where is that book? Cause
It's
I
at the police
haven't seen it.
department. I give it to Mark Hicks, and it's at the police department somewhere.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that book again.
But
It's
we
got a
found
record.
it. We found it in the attic at Old Town Hall when we found it.
The last time I saw that book, it showed like in the 40s, like it was a bunch of people. in
But the
40s.
last person was in there when? 70?
69, David
69
Rice.
or 70.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something
David
that's
Rice.
alive.
Al probably knows.
Well, me and I was going down the road one day, and there's a guy standing up there in the middle of the road looking at it. We stopped and asked him if he needed any help, and he goes, can't tell you how many times they throw me in that thing.
Well, who was that?
Don't know, you have to ask Al.
Got the new oak maybe?
Put it in paper.
You have to ask Al Kennedy.
Just asked Al. Somebody call Al. 1-800.
I'll see him tomorrow at the post office.
You'll probably know.
But that's it for us, our usual work.
Anything for Michael?
Is there a water leak right up above the other water leak you fixed up
It's
on
the same
South
water
Main?
leak.
Oh, so it,
I'm going to end
Looked
up
like
having
it
to
was a
dig
little
all that
higher
up, because I know it's probably got a lead service on it, and the house right beside of it too. I just gotta get enough employees here to get it all done. Those two of us here today.
thank you.
Police Department, Chief James.
It's in the police. Illegal burning, they handle it.
I think they want to call it in.
That's not good. I just wanted to acknowledge Keith Lofton. Earlier today, we needed a line to be able to do the Zoom meeting, and he put the Cat 5 ends on it, and graciously did it, and wouldn't take a penny for it. So thanks to him for what he did. Our reserve captain, Mr. Furr, is going through some medical challenges right now, so just please keep him in your prayers. Officer Ward was bit by a dog on the weekend. The dog had wrapped around some steps, couldn't get the food or water. Everything went well getting the dog out and putting it in the cage in the truck where the prisoner normally goes, but when he got the dog out, the dog bit him on the finger, so he's having to undergo the rabies shots for that. He's doing well with that. Some time ago, I lied to you about the blue van. I told you it was sold and it was gone, and Elizabeth got to post it for a second time. But I will tell you that as of today, I saw it with a winch pulled up on the van pulled up on the trailer, and it is headed to, hopefully it's made it now, Western Tennessee to its new home. So the blue van is really gone this
I doubt
time.
it's there yet.
Did the first people pay?
They did, but they got their money back because they wouldn't come pick it up.
They were out of state for a death in their family, or out of the country for a death in their family, and then never came back, and then when Elizabeth, went back in and canceled it, then they called and wanted to pick it up, but it had been 2 months, so we told
So
them.
they never paid.
They did pay.
Then how we cancel it?
If they don't pick it
Them
up,
defaulted, and
Yeah.
I think they were charged 40% instead.
I started there, I thought we'd keep their money if they don't.
it does.
That's the way I do.
We do have a right that if they do not pick it up, we can put them in default of the sale, so.
Painting did start today. I alluded to that earlier. Hopefully they'll be through by Thursday. I talked to Donnie Dietz. Hopefully the flooring will begin around Monday if they can get that worked into their scheduling. The town manager informed me today about the skateboarding issue that was relayed to you. I've notified all of our personnel that we're going to step that up a little bit. We're going to start documenting the names of all of the juveniles and or adults we deal with. If it's juveniles, we're going to start finding out where parents are. We're going to visit parents, put them on notice. If it still continues, then I think the plan is we could charge contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and hopefully we won't have to do that. But even since I've been here, I've had people complain to me that they've almost hit people skateboarding down the street. Months ago, I read something that it didn't say skateboard, but it said something on wheels or something to that effect. If we start, we may come to the point where you as commissioners may have to update our ordinance where it would make it unlawful for them to ride skateboards on sidewalks and in the roadway. Maybe what we're getting ready to do, we'll send the message. I've talked to the kids, told them that I saw a time down the road that our board may pass that if they didn't quit riding in the road, but it seems like they're not doing their part, and they're doing it when it's dark and it is dangerous. So we may get to the point where we've got to upgrade our ordinance. There might be a time that we're going to have a curfew for juveniles. We had one in the town I worked in before. A lot of parents these days let their kids run wild. If they're out after certain hours, then we would have an ordinance down the road that could handle that as well. Be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Do we currently have an area that they can skateboard?
Mark Smith allows it, I'm assuming, at the old Classic. I see them there frequently. They've got ramps and other things there. how they don't break bones. I hear them fall occasionally, and so far they've all got back up. But that's the only place I know they can legally do it. As you know, we don't have a skate park per se, like Oak Island and other places have, but right now Mark is allowing them to do it on his property.
They've been going in the post office. I had some people tell me that they've been going in there in the post office, and you could see how they were.
I think that's the black marks on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been going in there at night. Because people would say, I can't get over how the post office looks.
Well, you know, Thomasville did a skate park, and it really cut down on skateboarders in other areas. We basically said you can skateboard here, don't do it here or you're gonna be in trouble, and it made a huge difference.
Well, Jennifer Miller, when her son died, she tried to raise money and go to the county to try to get one, but it didn't, make it then. But it might be something good, to have one now. And that would be a perfect place if they don't go do anything with the classic building. That'd be a wonderful place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Water treatment plant. Jason?
Good evening. Getting a lot done at the water plant this past month and this past week. We got a quote for the plate settlers this past 2 weeks ago, another quote for those. But we've also tested a polymer today that worked out pretty good, that we may kind of go another route. We won't have to get the plate settlers, and that could save us a significant amount of money. So we're going to test that and a couple other things first before we go forward with getting any investing in plate settlers. Hopefully this other stuff will work out. We did hire a new operator. He started last week. He's already certified. He'll be working day shift. Our other operator, Thomas, sat for his B, and he passed his test. We found that out today, so we're proud and excited for him. We got new turbidimeters that we're going to try. This will eliminate the little glass files that we've had trouble with. The ones we have now are they're expensive and they're to maintain, and the maintenance on them is difficult. So these new ones would eliminate a lot of the glass file issues that we've got. So that we're still dealing with issues with the sludge. Trying to find a way to quickly get rid of that. We put a lot in the drying bags, but we're just kind of sitting there now, and we're starting to pile sludge up. So I've reached out to a few contractors to see about the best way to kind of quickly get rid of it. If it's a portable centrifuge or a belt press, we got a few contractors coming out to see what we can do to get rid of the one, because we don't want it going over back into that second lagoon, and we're about a foot away from that happening. So we're working on trying to get rid of that. We got some yearly testings coming up, the VOCs and the toxicities coming up. We already got that ready to go. Outside of that, long term, we just we got to work with the sludge, and then there's the other various upgrades with the either going to plate settlers or trying this polymer. It seemed to work really good today. Rather surprising. So outside of that, things are going good. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fire department.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners. October, our fire classes are still continuing. We've had about 12, on average, 12 attendees for those classes. So good participation in that. October the 17th, we had a SCBA demonstration with Newton's fire equipment for the MSA brands. They're currently lining up some pricing and lining up training to do in the future so that we can wear those in firefighting activities. We contacted Reinhardt, which carries the Scott brand, to do the same thing, and we haven't got the date set with that yet, so we're still working on that. We did receive our payment from NCOSFM for the fire grant in the amount of $39,390. That was received on October the 4th. With that, the radios that was purchased on that, we're in the process of getting those new aliases on that system so that we can get the radios programmed hope to have that done in the next couple of weeks. We had a fire engine breakdown on us last week and a half ago, with some air brake issues. Those repairs was made, the truck's back in service. Staff conducted site visits to the area daycare and the schools for Fire Prevention Week. Staff has also conducted hydrant testing in Zone 5, which is going down Bombay Road, the area behind CVS and the Handy Water Service District. So hydrants was serviced and tested for that. And staff attended the street festival. We passed out fire prevention material and participated in the Duncan booth. The funds was given out to the school and to Good Samaritan's Purse. I don't have the actual funding numbers. I think the chief or Angel can get that for us. Upcoming, complete our radio programming, complete the SCBA, so that we can pull the trigger on the FEMA grant. And then I'm attending the Parks and Recs board with them in November with some safety concerns for the Christmas parade. They asked me to attend that. Incident totals was 14. We had 6 fire, 2 of them confirmed structure fires, 1 confirmed ag equipment fire, a fire alarm, 4 traffic accidents, 1 EMS call, and 2 other emergencies. Any questions for the fire?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, wastewater treatment plant, Troy.
We submitted our initial lead service line inventory to the state on the 17th. We updated our wastewater treatment plant laboratory SOPs and submitted those changes to the state laboratory auditor this month. We did sell the surplus generators that have been stored at the wastewater treatment plant, and they have been removed from the property. And the big news is the engineers from Labella, from the Winston-Salem and Charlotte offices visited the wastewater treatment plant on Friday to look at oxidation ditch number 1. They are conducting a hydraulic study to see if it can be, I misspelled a lot, good gracious. Hydraulic study to see if it can be, I don't even know what I was trying to say, restarted with minimal upgrades and repairs. I shared with them my experience with it and my concerns and suggestions. They said they would take that into consideration. And then our regular maintenance, work, and repairs. That's it.
No, I'm tired of asking.
Okay. Town attorney, update.
So we've got a couple things that are coming down the pipeline that you guys need to be aware of from legislation changes, one of which is a piece of legislation regarding pornographic material housed on governmental computers. So I'll be presenting you guys a resolution for adoption regarding this, because we have to create a policy that says all this pornographic material, if there is any, has to be removed prior to January 1, and then we have to create a policy on how to handle it going forward. So that will be coming to you. The other thing is under Title VI, there's some new legislation handed down about requirements of city governments and what we have to do to provide language access for populations in our area that may need our documents and or services presented in a different language. And so I'll present some stuff to you next month going forward with that. So that's just something to be on the lookout for. Okay.
Questions?
We do have a policy, but I assume they're upgrading it, they're updating it. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Just
some
wanna-
changes.
Just want to let everybody know we do have a policy on that.
Correct. This is now some additional changes. Yeah. So we have had a policy, but these are new changes regarding it.
Town manager's report.
You guys have a copy of the project tracker that we've been working through. And just to start with the project that Labella is working on, as Troy mentioned, we did have them on site Friday, reviewing the oxidation ditch and seeing what the possibilities are with moving forward with having that put back into service. The water line rehabilitation project is scheduled to have the bid opening for November the 14th at 10 a.m. And then it will be before you guys in December for approval of the bid on that.
And so can you hold on 1 second? I'm having trouble locating that.
It's this one.
Do they open the bids here?
Yes.
And that's on I-9?
That's on the water line rehabilitation project. Did you find it, Ann?
It was in the extra papers that were laying there. You have that in separate stuff?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Can't keep nothing, Ann.
I know.
All right, so the water line rehabilitation project, opening bid is November 14th. It is here at Town Hall at 10 a.m., so next Thursday. The bar screen and purveyor replacement project is still pending the Q approval. When I was speaking with Mayor Pro Tem this afternoon, Heather Miller has reached back out again to the state. She's talked to 4 different people and still not getting answers from that. So she's supposed to follow up with them today or tomorrow. I told her as soon as she hears anything to let me know so that we can keep reaching out to someone else to see what's going on with that project.
Will you ask her exactly when she sent it in?
I will. So dates for submission.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll call Senator Jarvis.
That's what I had said too, is that if she doesn't get a response back, that I'm reaching back out to Senator Jarvis on that. Okay, the modifications to the wastewater treatment plant, which is what we talked about with Labella, looking at the oxidation ditch for them. And then the I&I study, which is the resolution that you guys approved and has been sent in. And as soon as the state signs off on that final, Trans-America is who is handling that I&I study, and they are ready to roll forward. So again, checking with the state to make sure that there's not anything else that they need to have that project moving forward. Just going down through the list, of course, AIA studies, I get those tongue tied. For Wooten, you approved tonight the task orders for both of those grant projects. So those will, that information will be sent in to them tomorrow for the signed copies of all of that. Sidewalk project, we did receive a quote from contractors. They were actually out of Raleigh, reached out through Angie's List, and that was the first one that came up for our area. They came in and looked at everything. Michael Hyde recommended another contractor. I've provided them the same information that we're looking at and have not had that bid come back in from them yet. Slam Dot, I have on here that the website was supposed to go live today, but there was something wrong with the release from the old server, so it will hopefully be tomorrow if we can get that information back from Rick Martin, who had hosted the website for us. The hydraulic study and then the hydrant connections on 47 was through Summey. Like I said, I did meet with them last Wednesday and we reviewed everything and had asked them to come and present that information to you guys. I'll reach back out to Max Summey in the morning and ask them where they were and then what the information they can provide to you guys for review. They did have a couple of options on that hydrant connection as well. I think before they had just done one proposal, but they were looking at doing 2 different things. I graded out the public hearing for Denton First Methodist as it was approved at the last meeting. Public hearing scheduled for November the 21st for the planning board, and that is for the solar farm for the parcel of land that used to be Burlington factory. It is for a portion of that. The portion that has buildings or businesses established would not be considered for that. It's roughly 125 acres. So they will have a public hearing on the 21st, and you guys will hear it on December the 2nd for consideration. the voluntary annexation for the project, the subdivision at 109 close to the high school. I did speak with their engineer last week, and he was just getting started on working to help them complete that application for annexation. He had been working on another project and said he just had not had time to get with them to finalize everything. So it is still a possibility to come to you guys for consideration. When we met with Handy Sanitary District, they were not even aware of a water project for the development. So I'm not sure what the holdup is on that, but have let them know if they need anything to please reach out. The subdivision at North Main Highway 109, it's going to be called Asher Heights. It's Todd Gates' subdivision property. And Troy has submitted the FSTE for the sewer system, and there's just a couple of things that need to be adjusted on that report and sent back in. So we'll have that taken care of tomorrow. We did have two companies quote. We had one company quote the roofing here at Town Hall Public Works and raw water intake. Dennis Galloway was going to see if he could have his insurance reinstated and possibly give us quotes on doing some type of A-frame, kind of like they did at Denton Propane. I don't know if you guys have noticed the work that they've done there for here, but I've not heard back from Mr. Dennis. We did have a gentleman quote over the weekend the Public Works building. He went up and looked at it, and it's needing quite a bit of repair for replacing some screws and stuff like that. So Michael and I hadn't had a chance to review that quote today, so as soon as we do, we'll get that out to you guys to look at. Of course, your AMI meters you just reviewed. Paving is still to come. Chris is meeting with DOT in order to establish that contract under the NCDOT to do some of the work that we did not do in the springtime or summer, I think it was, more or less. The renovation project for the 71 North Main Street, I did reach out to Mayor Pro Tem Grubb, and she stated that they have reached out to Paul Briggs, and Paul is still recovering.
Paul has us on his list.
Okay, good.
He got the word that everything was approved, and Brandon told me that we were on his list, so he'll get back with us.
Yeah. We had reached out to Brandon and spoke to him just to let him know that you guys had approved that. Town sign, of course, has been installed. We've had some really great feedback from the sign. Still like to add a few, brick facade at the bottom or something like that, just to make it a little bit more appealing, but had some really good responses from that. The other things, outdoor market area, we're still looking at some block to have installed just there around the sign to make it more curb appealing. The other projects that we talked about with budgeting was to look at block down the side, kind of replacing those old cross ties that have deteriorated over the years. But we have not had any luck in finding people who do this type of work who wanted to come in and give a quote on that. I think Paula has reached out to several on that behalf. Police Department, as Chief James said, the painting has started today, and as soon as they're finished, we'll get on schedule to have the flooring. It is in, so hopefully the next couple of weeks we'll have all that wrapped up for them. I did provide to you by email the information on the speed study for 109. It's been a little while, but we asked them to go back and do a complete study from town to town limit to town limit. I have not received that information back from them yet. But if you have some free time or lunch set up on 109, or ask the guys, it's kind of crazy sometimes what people are, especially right there through the bank area, down to the stoplight. So when that information comes back, we'll look at possibly changing that speed limit through that particular area. I have provided updates to you guys throughout the weeks on different things. Is there anything that I've not covered or anything you'd like more information on?
Angel, thank the old Public Works, and I thank the Chief's storage building, that T111,
Yes.
is starting it off pretty well.
It's in need of that, a really bad repair. We looked at it, last week too. And the, Public Works building needs the facade painted as well as, possibly looking at putting a molding or something, so we'll get some price on that too. We did take Michael's crew to the, lean-to down, because it was about to fall over, and we just gotta clean that up now that the van's gone, we'll be able to get in there.
It's not really our property where it's laying anyway.
It's not our property there?
No, it wasn't built on our property.
No.
Are you serious?
Our property stood off that brick wall.
Okay, well, we probably need to remove that then. So, we'll get that removed. So, it was in some poor shape though. ACE Code Enforcement had a prior engagement come up tonight. They did reach back out and, some plans had changed and said they could come, and we told them just to wait so they could present a really good, presentation to you guys, but the information you have before you is list of cases that are on a backlog that they're looking at having for hearings coming up in November and December, and then they even have some that are rolling out to January. So these addresses may not particularly be on the list where it has like open cases and things like that.
So this is an overflow.
Okay, so, but just so you know, they will be here at the meeting, as well as Labella will be here at your December meeting.
The scheduled hearings that
Yes.
are listed for the 18th of November,
Yes,
where are those scheduled hearings?
they here, they
Okay.
come to town hall.
Okay.
They just kind of come in and take the boardroom, and
Okay.
people, they come in and discuss whatever the issues are, see where if they've made any changes, or if there's any reasons to provide an extension on the days for that, but they are here.
So it's just a private meeting with ACE and the person?
Yes,
Okay, I didn't know how that worked.
yes.
Oh, that 148 Farmer Road, I don't see it on here anywhere.
She might have it on the edition.
Yeah,
It's
Okay,
it's
okay.
December
All right, I missed
basis.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I looked at the time, I guess I just didn't look. I got the keys, can't find either. I don't know where they are.
And that's because where my project tracker is.
Anything else for Angel at this time?
Angel, on that 774,000, the state finally sent us, is it in the works in that I?
Is that for the I-9?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we're waiting on them to send back that final check off so that they can move forward. Because Transamerican is who will be doing that study, and they'll be ready to go as soon as it is. So when I talk to Heather tomorrow, if she has not had that response back from them, I'm going to reach out to Senator Jarvis just to say we need help to get this moving. So,
So the first time you talked to her when she came here, that was what, April?
well, it's been quite a while.
Last year?
Was April?
Commissioner comments or concerns?
I only have one, this is not anything we can do anything about at the present time, but, with all of the residential, building that we've had, I would like to see if we could figure out a way to also attract, employers. Because we're just really perpetuating being a bedroom community. And, that's all fine and good, but a lot of times when you are a bedroom community, people spend their dollars when they finish work, they spend their dollars where they are and just come home to go to bed. And, I don't know what we can do about that, but, I would love to see us, work with the Economic Development Commission or somebody to attract something. I know we have had several retail places that have opened up, but we need something that employs more than 30 people. I'd just like to see us kind of take a look at that to go along with the building that's going on for houses.
So the EDC for Davidson County has done a tremendous job, and Commissioner Marston can speak on this as well, as, since they took over last year. There's been a lot of businesses coming into Davidson County. Now, of course, we really don't have like a lot of empty buildings sitting around that are capable of housing a lot of manufacturers or large manufacturers. But if there were plots of land that they could potentially promote for some type of business, that would be very helpful. So if anybody knows of any, that we could have a conversation with them and say, this could be a potential location for some type of business or factory manufacturing type. It would be really good. It'd be helpful. So that way when the items come across their desk, they would already have those spots ready to go. So be a little bit of work on our side, but if you know of anybody that potentially does have, that we could talk to, that would be great.
Where are they at with the buildings that they used to talk about on Jones Street that they started fixing?
Collie Crab?
Yeah. Where's that at? I mean, that used to be something that my man was planning
I
to
don't know
come
what
and
that
bring
is.
jobs.
Jones
And
Street
then-
plant.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've not heard anything out of them in quite a while. There's nobody there.
That's a big empty space.
Yeah.
But as Angel said, that's what the county needs to help market is if they have gradable land that's graded, ready to go, they're looking for that. But if it's not graded, ready to go, zoned right, they're going somewhere else. Her and I get 4 or 5 a day about, or a week anyway, RFPs of looking at the county. Now, some of them are really pinpointed right where they want to be, but if we get, that's one thing I have some concerns about what's coming up on the solar farm. If we get another solar farm and another solar farm and another solar farm, that's taking all the land inside the city that has infrastructure, where we might could get an industrial spot or two.
Is the building that where Council Craftsman was,
That's what
on
she's
47, is
John
that what you're
Freeman.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah, because
Because that
that's
was not being used, right?
That got-
Kaufman Trailers owns it.
Right.
And
But they're not utilizing that building,
Not
right?
currently.
Okay.
but they planned to, and I don't know what happened because they really did a lot of work on.
It's finished, I
Yeah,
think.
it's
And it was tied to jobs, but the jobs went down there, so we approved it to be, as long as the jobs were here.
And what's in the old, this one over here?
They're making it enclosed.
Enclosed, yeah.
Okay.
That's something I had.
Is that it? Okay, so I guess it's closed session. Do we want to go ahead and do the announcements?
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead and do that. So, November 11th, salute to veterans at 11 a.m. And same day, community veterans lunch at Southern Theater at 12. And that's, you got all that lined up, I guess. November 18th, Parks and Recreation Board meeting at 6 p.m. November 21st, Planning and Zoning meeting at 6 p.m.
Mayor Pro Tem, we have added to our memorial flag project, and I think she said 145 now, so
Wow.
they'll be on display starting on Friday before, well, this Friday. This Friday.
Because I mean, it's here.
I know.
So how many do we have Memorial Day? How many purchases?
99. At 99, we have 46.
That's wonderful.
Have 3 is the next one. So far.
Okay, so I guess we need to go in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, closed session.
Closed session, Angel, if you can step out and I'll come get you, I will need you. And Paul, can I please have some crackers? I'm sorry, I'm on short, thank you. I'm sitting here going, this is not me, I'm a miss.
Yeah.
Until I get to